This week we are going to continue working with Django, and you will be creating add and edit forms that let you modify the topics and the entries in your app. You will need to work through the chapter, and to help you, I have information here in the lecture demo. Just some general information about forms and additional information about the model form helper class. This explains it, and then there is quite a bit more to it than what you are seeing in the book. So there is a link to all of the different field types. And this is the Django documentation. So you're definitely going to want to take a look at that, especially when you start working on your last project for this class, because you're going to be developing your own little Django app. What I did here was included some of the more common fields, but this is just a subset of all of the ones available. So if you want to see all of them, go to that Django reference. And then we get into the different files that come with your app and the ways that you're going to be modifying them. And then you get to do the hands-on, which gives you actual practice. And you are directed to pages in the book. And let me reload this because I am pretty sure I had to make an adjustment here. In the book, there is a typo that I found, and it will break your app if you don't fix it. So you might as well fix it ahead of time. And it is in the new entry. This is part of your views.py file, and you're going to be adding the new entry function. And when you come down here to the return redirect, at the end, you need topic underscore ID equals topic dot ID. And in the book, that is not what they are showing you. They are showing you topic underscore ID equals topic underscore ID, and that is incorrect. And you will get an error if you use that code. So make sure you insert the correct code, and then you should be okay unless you made your own typos. And it's really easy, especially when you're going through this section, to miss things. So when you're looking at the entry that you need to add, do not forget to look at the top, because you may have to import some models. So for entry, you have to import the entry model. And this is the one, actually this one is good because this is edit entry. It is the add entry that had the typo. So scrolling up to find that. Here it is. So this is the typo I was referring to. Make sure you fix that. It should be topic.id. But again, these little from statements are really easy to miss. And obviously, if you miss that, you're going to have an error. So watch out for those things as you are entering the code. So you'll walk through here. I do have videos that will help you out. And once you get done adding each section, you may want to test that out. In fact, when I am working on this, I have two command prompts usually going. I have one with basically the running app, and then I have the other one where I can enter commands. So I typically have 2 of these running. And just to show you what this is going to look like, when you are all done with this chapter, and I know this doesn't look pretty, we are going to be adding styling in chapter 20. But as you finish this up, you are going to be adding a login and registration system in addition to the topics and learning log. And so when you're done with this, if you try to go into topics and you have not logged in, it does force you to log in. And then when you log in, you will have access to your topics. And so the login that I used is my super user, and I assigned all the existing topics to that account. I did create another account. So I'll log out and I'll log in under that one. And Scoopy doesn't have a lot of topics yet. He has sleuthing. So, but you'll notice that if we select that, not only can we see the entries, but now we can add a new entry and we can edit an entry. So under sleuthing, I had catching criminals, finding clues. What else did Snoopy spent a lot of time running? So we'll say running from bad guys. If I can spell. Okay, and let's see. We'll change that one to eating food, eating snacks. So you will be able to do the ads and the edits. You can also go into topics, add new topics. Okay, so all of those capabilities will be part of this particular chapter. Also, if you try to view somebody else's topic, so if I try to go to a different topic number that is not mine, I'm going to get an error screen. So that is also something that you are going to code in this chapter. And then we're going to customize that error screen in chapter 20. Now, what happens if you have a bunch of junky topics, right? Okay, we don't have a delete. So you can go into the admin panel with your super user. And you can adjust any of the entries and topics here. Okay, because super user has full access. So if I go to topics, I'm going to see all of Lisa's topics, and I'm going to also see all of Scooby's topics. Okay, so pretty much all the topics in the system, and I can change them however I want. If I want to delete it, I would just click on it and delete the selected topic. Okay, so after you finish this particular chapter, then you are going to be ready to work on your own app. And as far as what you need to turn in, because we are not putting this on a server yet, you are going to be turning in screenshots. And actually, these are some examples of screenshots that you are going to be turning in. And I've got them listed here as well. So you'll be taking the screenshots and uploading those. I mean, if you want to put them in a Word document and upload that, that's fine. If you want to save them as JPEG files, that is fine. I just need to see that you completed those. Then you will be working on your last project in this class. And I've got the information you need here. And at this point, you will be able to do everything except for the styling and the deployment. So you will be able to create your entire virtual environment, the infrastructure for your app. You'll be able to create the two models and relate them. You'll be able to create the template, but you cannot do the bootstrap styling yet. That will be in chapter 20. But you can get all of the bare bones completed so that when we get to chapter 20, it's kind of the fun stuff, you know, all of the styling and the deployment to Heroku. Every time I've done it, it's been relatively easy, knock on wood. So I don't think you guys are going to have a problem with that. So it's just a matter of figuring out what you're going to do the app on and, you know, getting all of the pages set up, and make sure you go with the conventions that are in the Django, and you shouldn't have too many problems. After you've got the app deployed, then you're going to work on your showcase. And the showcase is going to be a video demonstration of your project, which you can run live off Heroku or offline using localhost, whichever one you're more comfortable with. And then you will address some issues of app design. I specifically want you to answer these questions or address them in your demonstration. Demonstrate how you're going to use the app, describe any problems you encountered and how you resolve them. And if you're going to make any revisions to your app in the future, describe what your plans are. And then in the discussion forum, you will post a link to your live app, and you'll also upload that video. Okay, and your project and the showcase are not due until April 24th. So you have some time to work on it. I would not wait till the last minute, especially with this project. It is something you want to take your time on because it's really easy to make little typos. And sometimes those can take a while to fix. So my advice to you is, if you have an error, to maybe step away for a little while and then come back, because it's easier to find them. Also, it will display the error in your app. You'll see it on the screen. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what the exact error is. It is often easier to go in where you have the running application and figure it out here. Let me see. Yeah, so you can see I had some errors here. And it was on my authentication. But quite often, if you see them in here, they'll point you at a file and at a line, and they'll give you maybe a little more descriptive error message than you get, you know, viewing it in localhost. Okay, so hopefully you guys have fun with this. As far as your project goes, I would try to keep it fairly simple. If you do have questions or run into problems, you are probably going to have to Zoom with me because there's not really going to be any way for me to know what caused the program by you emailing me. So I really have to look at the error, and then we have to dig into your app. So hopefully the typos won't trip you up, because that is the most common error that I have seen in this particular project. Have a great week, and let me know if you have any questions.